Hey everyone, welcome to the Analytical Coding. In today's video, we are going to learn about measures and calculated columns. So, I want to start off with the calculated columns as they are a bit more user friendly and easier to understand because you can actually see the results of each row of the table. So, simply calculated columns allows us to add new formula based columns to the tables in a model. So, calculated columns generate values for each row which are visible within the tables in the data view. So, here I have opened the data view and inside that I have opened the customers table. Now, I wanted to create the spending potential column which is based on the age group. If the age group is between 20 to 29, that column should display low. For 30 to 39, it should be medium. So I have to calculate based on the age group. So for that, in order to create a calculated column, we have to click on new column in the table tools. So when I click on that, we can see that here we are having the formula bar where we are going to enter our DAX formula. So as you already know that first before the equal sign, we have to enter the column name or measure name, whatever we are creating. So here I am entering the column name, that is spending potential. And after the equal to sign, we have to enter our formula. So I am going to write a switch, and inside that, first here you can see that whenever we write a formula, that is function, we can see a suggestion which says that the first argument should be the expression which give the results that are values, and based on that value we have to provide the result. So here I am giving expression as age group, that is customers age group. Now based on this, if the customer's age group value is between 20 to 29, then we should get low in our column. And again, if the value is 30 to 39, we should get medium. And if the expression value is between 40 to 49, then the value should be high. And if it is 50 plus, then we should get again medium. So this is our function we are writing for the spending potential column. Now we can see that all the values are generated for this particular spending potential column, right? So this is the way to create the calculated columns. So they generate values for each row which are visible within the tables. And calculated columns understand the row context. So we have already discussed about row context and filter context in our previous video. So if you are not sure about the difference between row and filter context, please go and watch that video. And here, as calculated columns understand the row context, they are great for defining properties based on the information in each row, and they are used for filtering and also grouping. So here we can filter the data we want, right? And since calculated columns understand row context, a new value is calculated in each row based on the value in the referenced column. Here the referenced column is age group. So this is a valid use of calculated columns. So it creates a new row property that we can use to filter or segment any related data within the model. And now let me give you another example. So here in the orders table, I am going to create a new calculated column, total price. So which is based on the sum of the unit price column, total unit price column. So here I am giving the column name as total price, and which is equals to sum of orders unit price. Now, so here we got the total price column, and you can see that the total price is same for each and every row as we have calculated the sum of the unit price, that is entire column value. So here it calculates based on the entire column but not based on the each row. So here we cannot even filter the column, right? We are having only one value for each row. As we know that since this is an aggregation function, the same grand total is returned to every row of the table. So this is not valid usage of the calculated columns. They can't be filtered or sliced. So for cases like this, can you guess how we are going to handle it? Yes, that's right. We are going to use the measures. So which is other important application of DAX? So measures are DAX formulas used to generate new calculated values. So unlike calculated columns, measures are not visible within the tables. They can only be seen within a visualization like chart or matrix. So for that, let us create a measure. So let me go to the report view. Here in the orders table, I am going to create a new measure. Similar to that of calculated column, we will be getting the formula bar where we are going to enter our measure name. So here I am going to create the total sales, which is the sum of orders table unit price. Okay. So it is created total sales. But this data, total sales, will not be shown in the data view. And here you cannot see any column for that particular measure which we have created. So this is what one of the benefits of using the measures. So measures evaluate based on the filter context, which means they recalculate when the fields or filters around them change. So let me add a table, and inside that I am adding the total sales measure. So when I add the total sales measure, you can see that the total sales value, that is 10,426. And if I add a column customer ID, then this total sales will be recalculated based on the each customer ID. So here I am adding customer ID. Now you can see that for each customer ID, the total sales is again calculated. So for in a overall manner, it calculates the total sales, and if we add any filter, then it recalculates that particular measure. So this is also one of the most important characteristic of the measures. So use measures to create numerical calculated values that can be analyzed in the values field of a report visual. So measure calculation happens instantly behind the scenes every time the filter context changes. Let us see quickly the difference between the calculated columns and measures. We have already seen that calculated columns are row context, that is values are calculated based on the information from the each row of the table, and whereas measures are filter context, that is values are calculated based on the information from any filter in that report, and calculated columns will increase the file size as they are stored in the table, and measures does not increase the file size as do not create any new data in the tables. And calculated columns are used for filtering, so they are primarily used in filtering the data, whereas measures are primarily used in aggregating the values. And calculated columns are recalculated based on the data source refresh or when the changes are made to the referenced columns, and measures are recalculated in response to any change to the filters within the report. So these are the quick difference between the calculated columns and measures. If you find this video helpful, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.